With us now is New York Democratic Congressman Gregory Meeks. He is a top Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, it's always a pleasure to see you. I thank you for your time. You said that Friday's meeting in the Oval Office was a setup. What do you mean by that?
Well, look, it seemed to me that when you saw Vice President Vance interject what he did and how he did it, it was a setup to try to get the president Zelensky to either come and just look like he's kissing a ring or putting him down and belittling him. And so what President Zelensky simply did, as I think that they probably knew he would, is he is the president at a wartime trying to speak up and keep the morale of his folks who have been fighting for 3 years and winning to correct the misstatements that were being made by the vice president and the president. So it seemed to me somewhat concocted by the White House to try to get this kind of response. It was the president who insisted and invited the media in to see everything. It wasn't President Zelensky, it was President Trump. So it was a setup in that regard, in my opinion.
Congressman, how does the situation get any better as far as you see it? In other words, so this war is in 3+ years. There is, in many ways, a stalemate, right? I mean, Russia has gotten some territory, has not been able to go much further than the pieces and parts that they've gotten, devastating civilian population there. And it seems Ukraine is also in a situation where they're continuing to be at a status quo. How does this get resolved, if not by sitting down with everybody and seeing if there's any way that some agreement can be reached?
Let me say two things. Number one, Congress's voice in a bipartisan way needs to be heard. There's several Republican members, and you just saw Senator Langford and Congressman Bacon. They need some of their colleagues to stand up, those that have pledged and have said all along that they were with Ukraine, they will stay with Ukraine. They need more of their voices from Congress to tell the president that he should not be turning his back on Ukraine and our allies. In fact, treating our allies as if they're adversaries and our adversaries as if they are allies. That must be happening. Now, it must happen. And number two, you can't say that we're going into negotiations when what President Trump does is to go to negotiate with Vladimir Putin without Ukraine. And then they say that's what's going to happen and then put all the pressure on Ukraine, basically not asking them for a peace deal. Basically what you're doing is asking them to surrender because Russia and Vladimir Putin gets everything that they want and the illegal taking and the killing of the people of Ukraine goes unchecked. That can't happen. And so we need the pressure to get the president to have diplomacy and what is the natural order of working with our allies, because it will have effects across the spectrum. Understanding that from the very beginning, part of Putin's thought was he could divide NATO. Who would have thought? And they didn't. They couldn't. NATO got stronger. In fact, Finland and Sweden joined NATO on the border of Russia because they were afraid of Russian aggression, which we've all known. So who would have thought that the president of the United States would take the side of Russia and North Korea? So we know that North Korea now is giving weapons and actual men to fight their war. So here is North Korea and Russia, and the United States is voting with them in the UN. So the Congress has to play a role. And I think that the members of Congress, especially some of my Republican members who said they were going to be with them be with Ukraine 100% of the way, they must step up and say that we are not going to allow it to continue in the way that Donald Trump is now trying to put forward our foreign policy. It is a dangerous game that Donald Trump is playing. And I just add this, Jose, even in the Indo-Pacific, because they are watching this. And they are all supporting, because all of our allies, Ukraine, as all of our European allies are supporting Ukraine. Why? Because they know that China and North Korea are looking at this. And if the United States is partnering with them, it puts our allies in the Indo-Pacific and Taiwan at great risk. So this, as well as the United States of America, because Then you see what is taking place now to say that our activities overseeing and watching the cybersecurity issues with Russia is going to come to a halt. It's just unbelievable.